Okay, what motivated me to start my own therapy practice? Pretty much multi-level, but there were two main things that were motivating me to start my own practice. The first thing that motivated me was to provide a better life for my family. So when I began to really contemplate having a private practice, I had at least 3 small kids. At one point, we had 3 kids under the age of 3. That was busy. There are several months that I just don't remember, okay? But it was a great time, and the family was important to me, and providing for them was super important. One thing that kind of disturbs me, as sort of a tangent, is that a lot of people are just not getting married now. And it really motivates, at least us guys, motivates us to do well in the workplace if we got somebody back at home that we're working for. It's a huge motivation. So what happens if that's not there? We're just not motivated as guys to go out there and bust it every day. That's kind of a side note. Went off on a tangent there. But anyway, the biggest motivation for me was to provide a better life for my family. So when I was working, as I say, for the man, I was topped out. I was trading time for dollars. There was only so much money that I could make. It was okay money. It wasn't great money. It was just okay money. And the more hours I put in, I could make a little bit more money. I could do a little bit better. But there was only so much I could do. There was only so much time in the day. And I was being drawn away from my family in order to make that extra money to provide better for my family. So what did I do? Well, I thought, how can I make more money? So we tried maybe some side businesses. My wife and I, we tried some side businesses. It didn't work out. It just took more time. Although those side businesses had potential to be scaled and to make more money eventually, it just took too much time. And I kept coming back to the idea of dance with the person who brought you. Therapy got me here. I'm going to dance with therapy in this workplace and give a go at it. All right. I spent all that time educating myself to be an excellent therapist. I could do better. I can do better. And I was also, the second thing that motivated me is I was in a therapy rut. I mean, that's kind of why we ventured off trying to do different businesses, my wife and I. I was just in a therapy rut. I was not motivated about therapy. I was kind of punching out widgets, seeing patient after patient after patient in the manner that the administration wanted me to do for the most part. I just got unmotivated being a therapist. And that was a huge motivation for me also. Is there a different way? Is there a better way that I could deliver therapy? And so those were my two motivations, family and motivation to provide better therapy. So I share what I did next after I basically had this epiphany of starting a private practice. I share what I first did in a webinar coming up. So if you go to startatherapypractice.com/webinars, you can sign up for that free webinar, and I give you the first steps. All right, here's what you got to do first in order to start or potentially start a private practice. I lay that out very specifically, give you the steps how to do that. So go to startatherapypractice.com/webinars. I also have some speaking engagements coming up. So if you go to startatherapypractice.com/speaking, you can see where I'm going to be. I'm going to be in Texas later this year at the RehabPreneur Monetize conference. So my friend Bert DeVera, PT, is putting this on. Bert has been on a podcast on one of my podcasts. Great guy. It's going to be a great conference. I'd love to see you there. That's the last weekend in June 2019. Also the third weekend in September, I'll be in Austin, Texas at the ITPA conference. And I have links to those over at startatherapypractice.com/speaking. So if you're interested in private practice, or maybe have a baby private practice, or you just want to take your practice to the next level, those are two great conferences, plus the webinar. Also, subscribe to the podcast. Just search Start a Therapy Practice. I'd love for you to leave a review over there. If I've been of any benefit to you on these talks or anything that you've grabbed off my website, please leave a review on the podcast player you're using. I'd really appreciate it. Or just reach out to me and say, hey, Scott, I really like this thing that you talked about. I really like this tool that you're putting out there. Just the feedback is great. Or if you need any help, email me, scott@startatherapypractice.com. Until next time, Godspeed to you and your practice.